Hey, how you guys doing? So as you guys know, a little while ago I asked you to ask some questions, so this is going to be a Q&A video, more or less just me spouting whatever I feel and answering questions. There's about 27 comments here as of me recording of this video, and there are some duplicates, so I won't be answering every question, but I'll try and answer most questions even if it's not relevant or whatever. But we'll see where it goes, and hopefully you guys enjoy this. It's just time to learn about me or stuff like that, and hopefully it's not too boring. So this was the post that I had right here in front of you, and let's start going over to some questions. If you guys like this, just let me know. If certain kind of questions you would like me to expand on in the future, maybe make a video on, I could probably do that. If you guys enjoy this, I could definitely make more of these in the future. I mean, you could ask me about things that are currently happening or what I imagine for the future of Love Live or something like that. So we'll see how this goes, and hopefully it's not too bad. So alright, let's go with the first comment. So the first comment is by Zoromoto, or however you say that. When did you first get into Love Live, and what made you want to get into it? What was your first best girl, and what was the first Love Live song you heard? Alright, okay, so when did I first get into Love Live? That would be in 2015, near the early year for that. I was a sophomore in college, and that would have been maybe August, September. It was kind of early in the year, not like the first few weeks, but maybe a little after that. Maybe a month or so into college or so, from what I remember, because I didn't meet my friend who introduced me to it until a little while into that school year. And what made me want to get into it? Well, it was a friend recommendation. I was already had a YouTube channel back then, and I was remixing songs. And now that I think about it, it's probably a little later in that year. I've been past the fall break. Okay, so maybe that was late in the year, and I was looking into Love Live. I still remember it being fall, if I'm not mistaken, though. So maybe late of 2015, and I was remixing songs for different anime. It was known as Kami no Mizo Shiru Sekai, and that was also known as The Will That God Only Knows. And the thing about that anime is that they had the ending songs, but the ending songs had a bunch of girls singing that song, but they all had their own versions of that. So they, like we had soul versions of Love Live, they had it for T-Guac, but they had different instrumentals, and that's what really intrigued me. So I was mixing them, but the only thing is there was 3 seasons, so there's 3 ending songs that I could mix, and there's only so much I could do with that. So I was kind of telling my friend, like, I'm kind of out of things I could do. So what now? And more or less. And he's like, have you seen Love Live? And I'm like, Love Live? What the heck is Love Live? It's like, oh yeah, they have a bunch of solo versions of a bunch of songs. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, what the heck is this about? And he explained to me the concept. I'm like, I don't know if that's my kind of thing. But he said, just look it up. So I then started looking into that, and I was mostly interested in looking into the solo version of songs. So that's my first experience with Love Live. It was not even watching the anime. I didn't even watch the anime first. I don't even know if I knew there was an anime. No, I probably knew there was an anime right away, but I actually listened to songs first before I even thought, is this even worthwhile for me to watch the anime? Because from what my understanding at that time was, well, that kind of sounds like, that's a little bit of like, almost like Disney, almost, where they kind of have like almost a musical almost. But I decided it was just like, I don't know if I'm going to be that interested into it. But I started listening to a few songs. The first song I would have listened to is a great question, because it probably back in 2016, I don't know, I think it was 2 solo collections back then for Muse, and I would have probably picked the first one. So I don't know, maybe that would probably been Boku no Life Kimi to No Life, because I think that's probably one of the first solo songs out there. I just remember sitting down and listening to essentially almost all of them, because there were so many solo songs, and I tried to figure out if there were any songs that I would like, and most of them I was like, yeah, this is okay. So I actually decided to try and remixing those, and after that I started looking into the songs and such. Next up we have Beluga. I don't know how to say that. So the question is, back when I barely knew what anime was, I was exposed to Nico Nico Ni's meme, and I thought to myself, what am I watching? However, it was that my interest in Love Live began, and the rest is history. So what got me interested in the franchise, and what did I think of Nico Nico Ni when I first heard it, and who is Best Girl, and why is it Hanamaru? So I already kind of explained why I got interested into it, so we'll shift to when I first heard the Nico Nico Ni meme. I didn't know it was a meme when I first saw it because I went kind of blind into Love Live almost. I thought it was really goofy, but I was like, huh. I mean, her name is Nico, and that kind of fits. I was like, that's interesting. I also thought, like, her name is also close to nicotine. Yeah, I don't know. But I guess I'm more exposed to seeing people do that in college. But I thought it was a little goofy and funny, but I never really thought much beyond that after I first saw it. Who's my best girl? I know a lot of people have been asking this question, so this will be the first time I answer, and I won't answer again if I see it in our questions. My favorite girl, currently, probably Setsuna. It's probably the girl I relate to a lot the most, and she loves video games. I'm a gamer. I like that. I like her singing. I think she's fun. So it's been her. I know a lot of people asking best girl for each group, so you know what? I'll just do that too. Best girl for Aqua has been Hanamaru. So I guess kind of answers why Hanamaru. And for Muse, it's been Maki. Maki was my first best girl. I guess I forgot to answer that from the last question. Best girl for Liella so far. I don't know. Ren, maybe Sumina, Cuckoo, I don't know. Saint Snow, Sara, Arise, Anju, Yuki, I think it was. So let's go with that. The next question is by Nagisa Pyong. Which subunits are your favorites? What do you use to edit all your videos? And do you have any tips for people who want to start a YouTube channel? Okay, so my favorite subunit is Azalea. I also do like Guilty Kiss and Lily White. I think they all have merit. They all have songs that I'd like. But Azalea has been my favorite by far. I think Guilty Kiss is probably 2, and Lily White 3. I'm gonna probably have to go with that, but I don't know. Dave has been doing pretty well recently as well. The program I use to edit my videos is gonna be Final Cut Pro X. That's gonna be available for Mac, and I've been using it for a while because I started using the cheaper one from the iLife from Apple. Was it called iMovie? So that the conversion between iMovie and Final Cut Pro is very easy because Final Cut Pro is just like the pro version of that. So that's what I use, and these other people use it too. I like it. It's pretty user friendly, but still powerful. And then, do you have any tips for people who want to start a YouTube channel? There are a lot of things I could talk about going through tips and such. It's not like I'm that successful or big, so I don't know if you should really take my advice, but I think the biggest advice is if you want to create a channel, you just got to be A, motivated, and 2, you gotta do something you like, or at least something you're willing to do. Those two are the most key fundamentals to having a successful channel that continues to grow, and I think that's what's most important. But beyond that, I guess you can try following trends or trying to go to an untapped market and try to be something different or special. But I think the most important thing is find something that you like to do, and as long as you like doing it, you know, that's probably what's most important. It doesn't have to be necessarily something that is really high-end with all the special editing. You don't have to be super skilled at something, but if you're not super skilled, then well, you gotta suffice that with something else with like a really enjoyable personality, because at the end, the whole point of YouTube is creating something that people want to watch. And if you are able to create something that people are willing to watch, then people will watch it. Now we have CGX asking, have you ever thought of trying new content besides Love Live related content? Well, yes, actually. I started out that way. So, yeah. Now it's specific for the channel. Also, yes, because I started out just strictly kind of doing anime stuff. Now, I'm generally constantly kind of considering if I want to go more beyond that, but I'm most knowledgeable about Love Live in terms of anime in general, so I don't know if I feel confident in myself going outside that, and I never really put in a decent push. And there's a lot of other big creators that do that, so I just don't think I'll be able to compete or with them, and I just feel like I'll be overshadowed. So I don't know if I will in the future. I guess when Love Live stops making new stuff, I probably will have to try it, or maybe I'll just stick with idol franchises in general. Who knows? But if not, I like gaming, so I've always considered that. I don't know if I'm good enough for that or entertaining enough, but we'll have to see how that goes. Now we have Misha Sofyan. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Asked, why do you like Love Live? Well, it's mainly the big thing I like about Love Live is that Love Live is just more than just an anime franchise. It's just more than a bunch of girls. That it has a lot of songs. It's probably my thing that I like the most about it. Is that there are so many different songs and so many different styles. That at some point you're gonna have to find a song that you like. And yeah, there's a bunch of girls and there's a bunch of outfits, and I mean there's just so much content, which I just think is really cool. So that's probably the main thing I like about Love Live. It has a lot of songs, it has characters that I like, and there's a lot of games to support that franchise that I enjoy playing. Poof Biscuit asks, my favorite Love Live ship? Well, I'm not really one to ship girls together at all. I just don't really care for that. I know that is a big thing for Love Live, and a lot of people like trying to ship one another. I kind of don't really see it that way. The way I imagine that it was originally intended is that they're just a bunch of girls who are really good friends with each other. And I don't think there's anything really necessarily beyond that. And anything beyond that is more of people putting their dreams, expectations, and desires into them and looking more into it than that. There is potential for them to actually be a thing. I say yes, maybe a few. But I just think anything beyond that is just too much. So if I were to say what was my favorite interaction amongst the girls, I'm not entirely sure. I would have to think about that, but I don't really have a favorite ship, to be honest. Now if Love Live expands into something like Kankol, where the girls actually become ships, then I'll probably have a different answer. And we have Alex Thomas asking, what anime would you recommend for Love Live fans? So that kind of depends on why you got into Love Live. What do you enjoy about Love Live is what I'll say, because otherwise I would just have to give you a broad generic answer. And the main big selling feature of Love Live, of course, is that it's an idol anime, so I can just tell you watch one of their big Love Live like animes, all the idol ones, and there are a lot of them out there for sure. The thing is, I haven't really watched them, so it's kind of hard for me to give me a full heartfelt recommendation because I didn't really watch them. But there's Idol Master, we have Bang Dream. Those are the big ones that I know off the top of my head. I know there's some other ones out there, but again, I haven't really watched them, so I can't really say that. But maybe K-On! Might be a good one to watch. That kind of inspired Love Live, and it's not so much focused on music per se, but it kind of has that kind of interaction like the anime. But if I were to give one that's further away from that, I would like to recommend Your Lie in April, because the music is really nice and the story is pretty touching. So if you got into Love Live for music and you have a deep appreciation for music, then I would probably try to recommend that one to you. If you got into Love Live because you just like cute girls doing cute things, there are a lot of other ones like, I don't know, like, was it called Lucky Star? And I mean, any moe kind of anime, it's gonna suffice with you. Or maybe you like it because there's a bunch of girls. There's like a lot of hot animes that you can watch. You can, I don't know, like watch like Nisekoi or something like that. Or you can watch like what I mentioned before, T-Guak, which I liked. And they also have solo versions of the songs, which I think is pretty cool. So depending on what it is, and maybe you just like the seiyus, there are a lot of the seiyus doing a bunch of different anime and have big roles, so you might want to take a look in those, but those are some broad recommendations then. Next we have Chris Alaxi, who telling me to try Minecraft or Clash of Clans. I will not try Clash of Clans because I don't care for that game. I played a little bit and got bored of it kind of quickly, and that game's just way too expensive and microtransaction filled. I just don't like the concept of that kind of game. The game's just too much pay to win. I played a little bit and I just get absolutely destroyed by someone who actually pays in the game, so I just don't want to deal with that at all. So no, I'm not gonna play it. It was only fun for a little while. Minecraft, I like Minecraft. I just don't know how I'm gonna relate that to Love Live that much. I know I had like a Noseme skin on there because I think that's the only Love Live skin I found that I kind of like. I did want to put Monkey, but I didn't really like the skin as much. But that's about it. I mean, if there's Love Live created content for Minecraft, I don't mind doing it and showing it off for fun. I like Minecraft, it's fun. But I don't know, beyond that, I haven't really done too much gaming in here, so if that's somehow something people are really interested in, maybe I can. Next up we have Mikan, and they asked, what made you decide to do a YouTube channel, and which group is my favorite and why? I'll answer these latter first because that's easier. It's Niji, and mainly because I really like the emphasis of the development of each individual girl. Each one's a soul idol, but I just really like how each girl's got more development as characters, and especially through music. I kind of really liked a lot of the solo songs that came out, so it's kind of been my favorite, and my channel kind of coincided with the start of them for this channel, so I kind of felt like I grew with them, so that's probably why. But I do also like Muse and Aqua a lot too, and Layla I don't know enough yet to make that decision, and also, no way. What made me decide to do a YouTube channel? Well, I did do YouTube way back in middle school. Yeah, that I don't want to talk about that channel because those videos are not great. So, but then in college, I started to make videos, and then I remember I was watching Fairy Tail. There was this ending theme where I saw that they had a bunch of the arcs that were encompassed in. I think the song was "Boys Be Ambitious," and it was like ending 10. And they had a bunch of pictures, and they would pan from picture to picture to kind of go back through the history of Fairy Tail, and each one had an arc and a photo, and I'm like, that reminds me of, you know, a very simple kind of, I don't know, what is it called? I don't know, it's like a generator or something like that, where you could just place a bunch of photos, and then you could just pan from one to the next to the next. I'm like, wow, that would be really easy for me to make. And I'm like, I think this is also pretty cool, so I was like, why not I make this myself and extend it? So I did that, and I actually got some minor success from that, and I thought it was pretty cool. And then after that, I eventually got into Teaquak, as I mentioned, and I was like, no, I liked a bunch of these different endings of these ending songs, so I thought, you know, I can mix them and take my favorite parts of each one and make my own version of it. So I started uploading those kind of videos, and I'm like, this is pretty cool. But that was before copyright was swarming through YouTube with the systems that really destroyed it, so it wasn't long after that it started, and wow, that was definitely a fun experience. Now we have Mr. Worldwide asking, where are you from, and my favorite Pringle flavor. Where am I from? Well, I grew up in the Chicago area. There was a suburb known as Naperville. That's where I grew up, and I'm currently in Alabama. Also, what's my favorite Pringle flavor? Probably, I don't know, barbecue. I don't know if pizza was good, but I do like barbecue. If I can't get barbecue, I might get cheddar. I like that one, or sour and cream. Now we have Daddy Pendanonas, I think I would say it, with 6 questions, so let's go through that. How am I in the quarantine? Pretty fine. Mostly unaffected. I don't go out that much, but it kind of sucks when you can't go out, but whatever. It's not the end of the world. What's my favorite food? I don't know, one of my favorite foods is sundubu, which is a Korean dish that is kind of a spicy soup with silken tofu and a bunch of vegetables, and you can throw a meat in there. I like it. It's generally one of my favorite things to have. I've already done 3. for 4, since you also watched Jujutsu Kaisen, what are your insights on it? What do you think of the opening and ending songs? And who is your favorite character there? And what I think about Gojo Satori? That's a lot. So I like the anime. I've been watching. I think it's pretty fun. Not necessarily my favorite anime out there, but probably one of my tops, at least that's airing right now. I enjoyed it a lot, and it has a different feel than most shonen animes out there. The opening ending songs, I don't remember too much of it. I like the opening song from what I remember of it. And the end song, no, I only really remember the fact that the video starts where it's kind of like you hold in portrait mode, which is kind of an interesting decision, but I don't remember too much beyond that. My favorite character, probably that girl who likes Gojo Satori. She seems kind of fun and interesting. But I guess Miana Gojo probably. I think I never really thought about who my favorite character is in that anime. What I think about Gojo, I think he's OP, and I guess he got some pretty nice looking eyes. But it's a very odd character. But I think he's pretty cool. Do I watch Haikyuu? Not really. I think I saw one episode, but I never really got past that. Whose Love Live Sayu is your best girl? It's my best girl, but my favorite Love Live Sayu. Let's go with that. I don't know. Maybe Akari Kito, just the fact that she does so many things outside of Love Live that I really like. But I also like Tomoririru, which is Setsuna's. Akari Kito is Kanata's, and then Yoshino Nanjo I like a lot too. She does Ellie, and Momori Suzuku, which is Umi's. I like all of those a lot. Is there any anime/game that you enjoy beside Love Live? Well, yeah, there is a lot, but that's a lot to go through over my head. So let's just see what I can remember off the top of my head. Start with anime. Grand Blue, I think that's pretty fun anime. I enjoyed that one a lot. I did like Naruto. Too many fillers, but I did enjoy Naruto Shippuden a lot. Fairy Tail is also pretty good. Not my necessarily top. T-Guak, the World of God Only Knows, as I mentioned before, definitely been one of my favorites ever. I'm enjoying Gotobun no Hanayome, which is the quintessential quintuplets, who's airing right now. I'm enjoying that one a lot. I know what's that McDonald's anime that's coming back again. I did enjoy that. Shokugeki no Soma I liked a lot. I didn't like the ending. But oh well. Your Lie in April was definitely a good one. Steins Gate, that one's a fun one. Also, I kind of like the idea of the time travel as kind of a concept in general. So that was definitely really fun to watch anime in general. For games, there's a lot of games. I am a bit of a gamer myself. The ones that I probably play the most regularly is Call of Duty. But I'm really salty, so I don't know if I'll ever show me playing that when I play that game. League of Legends, I play that once in a while. I've been playing Genshin Impact here and there. I don't know if that's something you guys care to see. Rocket League, I played a lot more back in the day, and I got to... What do they call it? What's the top rank? Champion? Challenger? I don't know, Champion 2 or something like that. So I'm not amazing, but I'm pretty decent at that game. Risk of Rain's been pretty fun. I've been playing Persona 5 Strikers. And of course I have the Switch, so Smash Bros. Mario Kart's fun. Don't necessarily always play it all the time. I played Monster Hunter. I have a lot of games on Steam. I don't know if there's any games that you guys are interested in on Switch, PS5 as well, or PS4 I guess, and on PC, and you guys would like to see them, I might consider that in the future. Now we have Medi, who's asking what's my worst score from all groups, and also wanted me to tell you all the series and movies, so let's start with that. We have School Out Project, that has 2 seasons, and then we had the School Out movie for Muse as well, but there was also kind of the OVA for that, which is kind of like an episode 13 and a half for Muse. So there's that, and there's like 7 PVs, which music starts the 6th one, that's also part of the PV. So that's all you need to see from Muse. Then we have Love Live Sunshine, which is Aqua. We have 2 seasons, and then we have the movie Over the Rainbow. And then now we have Love Live Nijigasaki High School Idol Club, or Love Live Nijigasaki Gakuen Doko School Idol Dokokai, something like that. Which that's the Nijigaku. They have one season. We have not confirmed for second season or a movie after that. So there's just one season for that right now. And of course we're going to have Love Live Superstar, which is going to be Liela. So those are all the anime to watch. My worst girl from all the groups. I gotta say Hanyo. She's the least interesting to me. I don't hate her, but I don't know. I kind of find her relatively bland. She has a love of idols. She likes rice. She likes bread as well sometimes. And she has Daraka Daskete. That's mostly it. Not that interesting, and her higher voice. I'm not really a fan of higher voices, so it's hard for me to find moments where I enjoy listening to her singing voice. She has, well, like Kodoku no Heaven, which I think is good. I prefer when she gets a deeper voice. Yuruka Kubo does have songs that I like, which is her Seiyu. It's just she sings with a higher pitch here with Hanyo, so I don't know. She's for me mostly overall. Now we have Procrastination Delight asking, what's your opinion on people saying Love Live is just cute girls and catchy songs? Do I agree or disagree, and why? I would kind of agree. It's not false. Love Live is a bunch of cute girls and they have a bunch of catchy songs. That is definitely a true statement. Is it just that? I mean, any oversimplification is not necessarily going to be true. And I mean, that is probably the biggest appeal of Love Live, is that they have cute girls and they have catchy songs. And that's definitely enough to bring them in. I'm definitely more into catchy songs, but they have a lot of games and they have a lot of anime story cards and such that really go beyond that. So, you know, I kind of agree, because if we were to really oversimplify Love Live, that is what it is at its roots. But, and it's not really fair to say it's just that, but probably more on agreeing than disagreeing side, because that is what Love Live at its core. Will I ever do a face reveal? Maybe in the future, if I get a lot bigger and I spring up for equipment, or if I say like go to Japan or something and take a look at some kind of stuff there, then maybe. But for the immediate future, no, I don't plan on it. This also reminds me of, because this person is using Kaguya Shino Miya, which is from another anime that I definitely do recommend, which is Kaguya-sama Love is War. I definitely recommend watching that one, because that one's definitely funny. It's nothing to do with idols, but I do enjoy that anime a lot. So if you are interested, I do recommend watching that. Now we go to Ibis575. I can't really explain it why I started my YouTube channel, but let's go to the second question. Is it difficult for you to be constant in YouTube while studying / working? Yes, I mean, probably the biggest problem is just motivational issues, or coming up with original ideas. But as long as if I have an idea that I want to do, it's not that hard. I will find time, I'll make time for that. But, you know, sometimes when you've done a lot of videos, you might get worn down, so it does make it a little more difficult. And this is not my job, so it's not like I have to do it. So that definitely, I don't necessarily always have that push. But, you know, things like Love Live news videos, those are very easy for me to make, because I just discuss about it. So I would say yeah at times, but I don't know. I don't think I have a good excuse. It's probably just me being a lazy person. Now we have Driftkey, who's asking my favorite new solo Aqua MV so far. I think I still gonna go with Ruby, just because it's very interesting and funny. I do like Kanan and Hanamaru for sure. But if I had to just pick one, I think Ruby, just because of the impact. And I think it's just every time if I want to watch something, I'll probably go with the most entertaining. And Ruby's is the most entertaining just because how bizarre it is. Next up we have Yo-Yo. He's asking if there's a thing that I like in Love Live Squad Festival All-Stars and for card sets. I definitely like space themed or star kind of themes, especially with look like constellation outfits. They kind of done that, but I would like to see more of that. I don't know if it's space theme. Anything that is cool and flashy is what I've been generally wanting to see, and of course there's a lot of outfit sets that we haven't explored yet. I don't know, I was thinking maybe perhaps some futuristic kind of theme where they have a lot of neon lights maybe. I don't know, maybe something funny like kind of dinosaur theme or video game style theme. I'll probably like to see that. If they have like some gamer outfits that has kind of like that kind of style, that would be pretty interesting. So maybe something like that. Oh, and lastly, maybe wedding dresses. I kind of like Ellie's wedding dress, so if we get more of those, some very extravagant fancy dresses, I probably would like that too. And last but not least, we're gonna go with Lucky Wolf. So the first question they're asking is if I never discover Love Live, is there another anime franchise I would select? Well, I probably wouldn't actually specifically only do one franchise. I would probably just been general anime, if anything. I might even not even started this channel and kept my old channel, to be completely honest. That's probably what I would have done. Favorite live show and or live performance? I do not know the answer to that because I haven't watched every single live performance, and I probably only really would watch a live performance if there wasn't a 3D MV available or animated. And that's probably gonna help me out, because if there already was an animated one, I'd probably prefer that over the live performance. But then also another question is, well, do I care if it's a song that I like a lot? Well, there is a balancing act there. So if I provided my top song that I think hasn't really been animated, probably be Garasu no Hanasono, maybe? That's one of my top songs that I don't think has been animated in any form that I at least found. So I'll probably have to go with that. But I also, from a lot of the ones that I've watched from live performances, I also like the Seinaru no Hi Inori, which was the Holy Night song. I thought it was really cool what they did with the lights when I saw that performance. That was really fun. And also Misty Frosty Love, that was also another fun one, but I think that's also mostly part of the song as well. And if the Azalea Soul Live actually happened, what typical 9-person song do you think they would have performed just as Azalea? So if you're not aware of this, to talk about, there was the unit live, the subunit of 2020 adventure, whatever they call it, which they had Guilty Kiss, Sarong, and Azalea perform their a bunch of songs, and they would each have their own days. So we already had Guilty Kiss and Sarong, but Azalea's got cancelled and got cancelled again. So that's never happened, but each in the performances, they would perform all their subunit songs, but they would also perform the subunit versions of songs. So the question is, what do I think would they pick? Probably something that would, I imagine, match their style, like Sky Journey maybe, because I think that might work for them. So that's probably my pick, and I imagine they would at least do one opening or ending song, because I think that's what the trend was. But there isn't a third one to pick from, so I don't know. We'll have to see. But I think Sky Journey is probably the one I think that's most likely. And then Firebird or Firebird. I haven't really listened to the other Firebird, so I'm going to have to go with Cuttins. Thank you all for watching, and a shout out to Max for supporting my channel. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Looks like this is taking me about 34 minutes to get through, as I try to go through almost every single question without having any repeats. So hopefully I was able to answer your questions. If you guys enjoyed this really long video, let me know in the comments below, and maybe we'll do more, or maybe never again, who knows. But hopefully this was enjoyable and I answered your questions the way you wanted me to answer them. And if there's more in the future, we can potentially do one of those. Thank you guys for watching, and of course I'll try to do some other videos in the near future, so let's see how those go. Thank you guys for watching, and hope to catch you guys in another video soon.